Empty formation, his ears are pinned back, and he beats him inside. There's no chance for Baker.
Going to bring two off of his blind side, and he just doesn't see it coming.
Man, this is a huge play here because so many times C.J. Stroud will make this defensive tackle miss. You can see the other defensive tackle
to where he had chance to step up in the pocket, but he's not able to, and Bell able to knock it out of his hand. And
on the field, you're going to see him wrap up and under, up top, and now he's right down the barrels. The ball was not high and tight with 3 points, and Leafo.
And they're trying to get a chip block, but in the end, Williams is tied up on the linebacker.
It'll be ruled a pass and a pick for the moment. Toto comes up with the interception. There is Autry off the edge.
And he just overruns it. First is going to get up the field, but here comes Julian Hill, number 89, and you see he just completely overruns it first.
Miller up, and Miller makes the tackle. But that's what you need from your corner. Step in there and...
Houston, his energy, changing positions. Watch how many times he has a shot here. First one goes by. Keeps hustling. Keep working. Get after it out there. And
exploding here late in the first half.
The fumbler recovered the ball.
Jeez, just bull rushes him.
Take a look. Caleb McGarry, the right tackle.
The primary pass rusher now on the Lions is Aleem McNeil, number 54 inside. And he is going to be a headache for whoever plays him. Good job that time.
Right here. This is really impressive athleticism. Look at how he gets low and then he just able.
You got a good, just a little, is that Evan Anderson again? Yeah. Going up on Mock and nowhere to go.
He's kind of taken a back seat this year. The veteran, all-time leading sack in Saints history again. McGarry, just the foot traffic is killing him. This time it's Bijan Robinson.
Football, you get a great spin from number 53, Eifler on the front side, and then just a beautiful...
It's game after game, time after time. He's a guy that maybe the general football fan in the country, they don't know his name.
Expecting him to do these kind of things, and he's been challenged by Zach Orr to become more violent, and that's exactly what he did there. Going up against Volson, he's able to win with that violent mentality. He has looked quick and looked dominant in the interior.
4 times. He has a unique gift just to find the hole, find the area to get to, and still correct even if he's out of a gap.
And then he wanted the clock to work down. Now he calls a timeout, being respectful of Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense. 2 hands on the ball by Burrow. Give credit to...
Dietrich Weiss is coming from the left side. There he is, number 79, or I'm sorry, number 91, working and just. There's Keon White. They've got him, kind of got away with a little bit of a trip there.
Because he wanted Steele to go over and help out Sua Mataia, but it's not a blitz. It's just a one-on-one.
And I'll tell you, this is some pretty good speed. It gives you an idea how he can run for a 305-pound man. I mean, Joe Burrow can go. Joe starts to turn it on, but it's too late.
Contract extension. And he has been just glittering for this Bronco defense.
Well, and I love his story. The way that he fell in the draft, and Johnson comes off the corner. You see McDuffie come off of one side, and Johnson blitzing off.
He's always their quicker defensive tackle. He gets on the edge and gets right around Dylan Radins for that sack. I mean,
and it's all over this run before it can get started. In the backfield,
Bull rushed his way through there and finishes off Daniels.
Last week, some people wondered how much he'd be able to play. Look at him use the hands, get off of the block from the rookie Rosengarten, and makes that play.
On this call, I thought for sure they'd hand it off, and this is going to knock him out of field goal range. You want to keep the clock moving, but you can't.
He's been so hot the last 4 games and just been able to be that sort of inside factor that can make such a difference.
For TJ Watt due to all the attention he was getting, but he and his tag team partner Alex Highsmith.
But it's a great job by Dallas keeping the pass rush lane integrity. Everyone stay in your gap.
And there's Dupree, and he's going to go up the field. They even tried to chip him. Latham is in position, but again, Levis, if you're going to step up, you have to be ready to make a decision quickly. Either you're going to throw the ball or
Parsons, you want to bootleg the other way because he can sniff out. He can play the run and the quarterback, and he understands any subtlety that gives him an advantage, whether or not the possibility of handing off.
See if they couldn't knock him out, and instead, Tua, protection overall, not bad. He's right there. He's got time and just cannot.
Guys coming back healthy has been overwhelmed at times by Miami.
Well, they got overwhelmed because it's just totally getting after Tua, but this is one he's got time in order to get out of the pocket and get rid of the football. You just cannot take.
He wants to go out with the needle on empty, gets his 3rd sack of the year.
Well, a nice job up front. The game that they run forces Stafford then to try to
come out. And here's Keon White coming up.
Without a first-round pick, and they finally got back into the game this year. They took Verse, and he's the one that made this happen.
Yeah, they run a game up front defensively. He just gets a great push.
Wow, Jeremiah Farms right here. Just a great move inside. You walk the linebacker up, and I don't know.
He's working against Liam Eichenberg and just pushes him right out of the way and is right there in the hole. They give up some yardage, but yet, as Sean McVay talked about,
as an interior defensive lineman, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's a really good penetrator in the backfield. And when you run these outside zone schemes like we saw.
Kwity Paye wraps back around after getting stoned a little bit by a double team there and gets Josh Allen before.
A really good move by Chop Robinson. He gets Joe Noteboom, the right tackle, moving. You see the inside pass rush. He starts as though he's 6'8". It doesn't take much. He's still playing at a high level. He's been one of their better defensive linemen.
Give one of these plays a shot every once in a while, and then you come back and you go, why did I do that, right? I mean, Detroit is so well coached, and Aaron Glenn is seeing them all. Comes back last year. He's on IR with a broken ankle, does make it back for the championship. So they said, all right, we just want you to be an edge player now.
Talk about pass rush lane integrity. That means each guy stay in your gap and just collapse the pocket. Couldn't have been done better. This is a great pass rush. Huff coming outside. He just hasn't had a ton of production because he's been limited from his hand, but wow.
Well, this is an all-out blitz. You hear it all the time. 0 blitz. They bring one more than the New York Jets can block.
Will Levis, Bud Dupree's coming off the side, but here Will Levis. You step up once, you step up twice, you know that the guys are going to have the defense all around. You're going to see the secondary all on the same page of covering up both Calvin Ridley and Nick Westbrook-Akine.
That was... Vic Fangio does a good job making it look like that's open, but it was really all Carter. Just
his decision making, he's going to come right here. The way he's able to just make that little move inside.
He's got to fit up in the hole, and you see he turns him sideways, and a lot of that's overshown skill. And
Zone is going to get a second chance.
Yeah, really
got the contact with multiple defenders.
Boys, loss of 5. They make the play.
You see a great job of getting the edge, but interior is going to be the key. After the step up by Hurts, they keep the wall and they keep contained.
Need to slide. And wow, look at the hurdle. That was Deion Henley bringing the pressure. Will Levis just go down right there.
Look at him working past Trent Scott and having a real impact on that play. Daniels can't fully get into the pass.
Rookie left tackle who's starting right now just bull rushes him back into the lap of Joe Flacco. Flacco tries to spin out of it, but he's just right there to corral him. The escapability is not really there.
Chase Young, he's been their best pass rusher. They have not been a great pass rushing unit at all.
I mean, this right here has given them trouble all day long. And we talked about it on the offensive side.
Unbelievable how quickly Purdy thinks he's got a spot to run, but it closes so quick on him and can't see.
At least do something to control the defender. And they don't do anything to control Anthony Jennings. They don't show any motion. They don't do anything. They give him a free run.
Today's Strenat, and he has played a terrific game.
Well, you can call this run blitz, you can call pass blitz, whatever you want to do, but you got your 4-down lineman coming.
Here he comes into your living room.
He was in Bryce Young's living room right there, and that's
Cade Mays, and you mentioned he was on the practice squad for the Giants. So Brian Daboll was saying, we saw the
Connor McGovern and Osiris Torrance, but he just bides his time and waits for Josh Allen to try to escape.
Well, he maintains leverage. Watch and see, he gets to the outside, and having that quick change of direction.
Now you're just overloading the side, right? You're going to have 4 there, but you're going to have 1 coming from the top into there. There he goes. Jelani Tavai there. So you have to, that's a hot route.
On Harrison, the right tackle, and the back, Bigsby, they don't know where to go or who to get. They both go for Ivan Pace Jr., number 0. And then there goes Van Ginkel. Free run to the quarterback. You got to leave.
And this almost turned into another one of those typical TJ Watt plays. Look at him going for it after Hayward pops it in the air. Defensive backs work on this all the time. The tip drill.
Job here, making Joe Flacco think he's going to have to get rid of the ball too quick, but he doesn't.
You can't try and hit a home run every time at bat, right? You know, sometimes you just got to take your medicine right there. Try to just push that up and get as many yards as you can. This is a team.
Karlaftis and Chanel not fooled on this at all. You see Chris Jones coming over that direction as well.
Right there. You got to run through the smoke.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder, cold chicken style. I mean, you can't bounce that ball, especially on the fringe red zone area.
Oh, coming from behind, backside, just knocks that ball cleanly out of Joe Flacco's hand, and DeMar Hamlin, Johnny on the spot.
Tremaine Edmonds, he's not going to get home. They've got it blocked up.
Trying to get to Najee Harris. Watch Harris 22. He's circling, and he's going to go underneath. But because of the pressure by Fowler.
Very opportunistic defense, number 12 in takeaways in the NFL.
He has it in his hands. Not able to come up with it. But he's a lineman.
But he's a lineman.
But he's a lineman.
I bet.
Get home and get the sack to start this second half off for the Buffalo Bills defense.
Yeah, he's doing a heck of a job here for the Patriots in that front. And again, you come out and you've got the plays that are working, right? And then all of a sudden, you go back to one where you got to hold the ball. And you're going to allow somebody to win one-on-one and disrupt it. Where the first couple of plays to start this half to get into that rhythm.
Late in that picture, you see P. Ryan come into the picture. That's the third. That's the outlet.
ETN's just going to try and give him a shoulder here, but that's not going to be enough for pace. You got to use your hands. You can't just engage and let go.
He's playing the slot, and he's just unblocked. They love weak side zone, meaning that you run away from the tight end. They can't get one of the double teams up to him, and he brings down Robinson.
Gains on the rush. Can't quite see him from that angle. Purdy comes off the play fake. If you just kind of stay in the middle of a pocket.
With a backer in the A-gap like that, Cashman, number 51. So difficult for halfback.
Yeah, watch Onyemata right here. He just wins on the left guard, Nick Saldiveri. Little inside swim and just 2 big bodies at contact. You just can't expect your back.
This is a bend back type run. It's a long developing play. As you see Lloyd in the backfield.
They just toss it, use check leading the way. Watch him defeat the block, and boom!
To come in for Russell Wilson. Look at that. Jones blocks down. Luvu comes right off the edge of him.
Number 9 overall defense. That's a loss of 8.
He wants to get there, but watch Highsmith get upfield, and that forces Daniels to step up right into Cameron Hayward. So Joey Porter takes McLaurin on that play. But when you pull, you've got to hit your target. And he totally missed. Patrick Queen comes inside. It's about Sam Cosmi, number 76, who's having a heck of a year at guard for Washington. But when he pulled and got upfield, Queen slipped in underneath him. See right there? Cosmi looked like he...
You know, it's so well done. Right here, sitting back there. Watch him just shoot that gap. As the blocks happen, he sees it. If you see number 6 walked up into the box, you know there's an opportunity for pressure.
Back to the 45.
Well, they bring 3. There's 5 near the line of scrimmage, but they're using 2 spies, and that's what they're able to do.
He said, I want to be dominant in this game. The naked bootleg right there, trying to stop.
You're going to get beat quick. Right here at the right guard spot, you're only rushing 4. It's one of the good things about this Bears defense. You're rushing 4. You've got 7 guys in coverage. You can see Drake May has nowhere to go with that football.
Oh, you feel so bad. He's played such a great game. Nice job reaching in there and knocking it out right here by the big fella.
Former Giant Ashawn Robinson knocks it out.
And Jewell was in there, standing tall. Second sack of the game for Carolina. That's a big play right there, Kurt.
Just to go back and continue on talking about Bryce Young, we have that same.
And what's different is he's 6'4". I mean, with that kind of length and that kind of ability to explode into the backfield, does a nice job of kind of disguising that. Joe Burrow's trying to find the football, disguises it, lines up against the tight end. Joe is full with 4. He's out here, and again, that's a great matchup against Mims, the rookie. Makes him step up, which is Joe's done a lot of, just kind of climbing in that pocket.
It was Zach Sealer that got his hand on the ball right here. Take a look at it and see. Nope, Calais Campbell, you're right. Calais Campbell now.
Tremendous play by Pittsburgh, because here's the pressure, right? But they're trying to set up a screen, and Pittsburgh blitzed into the screen.
Bringing the pressure. He's coming off the right side. You're trying to block Chris Jones one-on-one with the tight end. That is not going to work. They move Chris Jones around so that he can get those one-on-one matchups. Very fortunate here to get rid of the ball before a turnover happened.